Greetings and welcome to Thirsty Mage, the virtual pub that's recording in HD 2D quality. Recording in front of a beautifully animated Parallax Ocean, I am your host David Lloyd. In this episode, we're previewing the next big RPG, some might argue the only big RPG this year, Millennium Tales, The Adventures of Elliott. Joining me is a man who hasn't played enough 2D adventure games himself lately, it's Casey Gibson.
Good morning. No. I'm not. I'm always up for some more of that goodness, and really, it's crazy to think we're only like a month and a half away from the release of this bad boy.
Yeah, it's just around the corner. And also joining us, anxiously waiting to beat up some musically inclined frogs, it's Paige Chamberlain.
I don't think in the game I'm playing to get ready for this one that I haven't fought any frogs yet. I don't think.
I thought wasn't there frogs in the dungeon? They were like shooting musical notes.
In Elliott. I mean, like I said, in the game I'm playing to get ready for Elliott, I don't think I've had to fight any musical frogs or regular frogs. So
not yet.
See if they're not yet. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of game doesn't have frogs to beat up? That's what I ask. But yes, this is Square Enix's next big release. I guess I don't know. They're doing. Sorry?
A new IP.
Yes, new IP. They're doing the Square Enix thing where they release it within a week of another big release with the Switch 2 release of Rebirth. Yeah.
So
I was pretty disappointed. I don't know why they're so close. I get the Rebirth has been out for a while, but I feel like there's a massive swath of customers on the Switch that have not enjoyed it or haven't had the opportunity to enjoy it, I guess is be the word to put. I know when the remake came out on the a couple months ago at this point, I guess it seemed like it was well received. It was the highest selling Switch game the month that came out. I know just anecdotally, there's a lot of Switch only folks that we know that picked it up. Not even necessarily known for their JRPG fondness or anything like that. They picked it up, really enjoyed it, and it just feels like Rebirth is set up for a big Switch 2 launch, and then they jam Elliott. I think it's like 10 days later or 2 weeks. After that, so hopefully everyone's pocketbook is heavy enough to cover both of those games.
They did the same thing with Remake and Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. It was like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Rebirth Remake came out, and then I think it was like 10 days or 2 weeks later, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined came out. And yeah, it's like, what are we doing? And honestly, it's not even, I mean, the money definitely factors in too, but for me, it's more the dang time. It's like, I don't know how long Elliott's going to be. I somewhat doubt it's going to be like a 40, 50 hour game, but it's still like, let's do some spacing here, I wonder if they just look at like the releases of 7 on Switch is like, not as big a deal, so like whatever, just throw it in where we can, but
it's like they didn't learn their lesson from 2022.
Release it all.
I think they had like 30 games released, and they were always in clumps of 2.
Someone's got the list here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 9, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and counting some ports and stuff.
Oh my god.
24
Crazy.
Releases in 2022.
But I tell you what,
a lot of them
like
the mid-budget.
Yeah.
They noticed in one of their financial reports that they were self-cannibalizing themselves. Because that particular year, they had a lot of things like the Dire Field, the Valkyrie, the Star Ocean released way too close to each other.
Harvestella was out around that time. I think I was going to play it, and then it came out right
Too
right
much
after
stuff.
something else. And I don't know, it didn't give any of those games like time to get any buzz or
To
get any
breathe.
momentum,
Gave them
Yeah.
enough time to get heavily discounted quite quickly so it could snap them up.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, because I know I picked up a lot of those games maybe like a year or two after they came out on sales. So yeah, it's unfortunate that it's funny. Very prolific apparently, and especially like 2022 is like a lot of that development would have been like pre-COVID and during COVID, and to
Hmm.
have that many games come out in 2022 is insane, really. But
Hmm. Especially now, this year it feels a little more sparse in general. There's a couple companies that are going overboard, like Capcom.
Yeah,
yeah,
They've
big
got at
Capcom year.
least 3 games already that are out this year.
And I believe they got another one coming out. I forget when. I remember seeing, yeah, Capcom's, and oh, good old Capcom.
I wonder if it's the GTA 6 fear. Like all
Yeah,
the
well,
devs, they're like
yeah.
nobody wants to release a game in the same year the GTA 6 comes out. I think is basically
Well, they don't have
the
anything to
going.
worry about this year then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, that'll be the funny thing is everybody holds off their development for 2026, and then it gets delayed into 2027 anyway. So
Mhm.
Yeah, there's someone who's like, yeah, we'll push to like February, March time in 2027. Perfect. And that's like, there, no doubt in my mind, GTA 6 is going to get delayed again.
although I could see them release GTA 6 in like November to get the holiday sales, but then it'll be a Cyberpunk 2077 situation where the
Oh, it
game just is
sucks.
like completely broken. And then it'll be like 8 months
Well,
to a year before you can actually
I
play
don't know if
a decent
they
version.
make enough money from GTA Online that they don't have to rush a game out.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I don't think Rockstar would rush it out, even if it would be beneficial to hit that sale, that the holiday, because yeah, they could release that game. You look at the numbers, like the most historically bad month to release it, and they could release it there and still sell
Yeah.
gangbusters.
Well, they've waited 11 years or whatever it is. What's another
Are
2 or 3?
you guys gonna get it?
No, I don't think so.
I have fear that it's going to be like 150 Australian dollars or something. So
Mm.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I
it's
might
like
play
I've
one of the other
played.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get like 3 games for the price of that one.
Maybe I'll find a working copy of San Andreas this time.
Well, and the time, like the time commitment, like because that game is going to be over 100 hours just on the single player, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it's just I've played like 4 and 5 bits and bobs, but I've never really committed and played the campaign. It's always been more about just going in there and messing around. And like right now, I think I'm in a good spot with GTA in the sense that don't care. But when it does come out, I could see myself being like, all right, let's pick it up. And then like avoid that, like, oh, I waited 4 years for this game, It's like, oh well, I decided to pick it up, 3 days before it released, and then I had fun with it.
Cyberpunk kind of scratched that itch of that type of game for me. The kind of open world, just going around doing quests in a big city.
I do really just like the idea of a Florida Man simulator, though.
I say I could take a couple hour drive and I can live the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see what comes with that. But for the topic of this episode, yeah, we're talking about. I guess I always call it the Adventures of Elliott, but technically it is Millennium Tales. And
Well, I don't know because
or
when
did
I'm
they
looking at
change?
a retail copy, it's saying The Adventures of Elliott: the Millennium Tales.
Oh, right, right.
Mm.
I
Maybe
don't know
that's the
why I
one bit
thought
of
it was the
feedback they
opposite.
got from the demo that they actually changed. Because looking at previous stuff, I don't think they changed the only complaint I had.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I just took the Adventures of Elliott was kind of an homage to Zelda because it's really feels like a 2D Zelda type game, and like you're obviously not going to call it the Legend of Elliott or something like that. So they went to the Zelda 2 Adventure of Link. For the name on that one, but so we do have a demo for that one. It was funny. It came out. The demo came out on Switch 2. There was rumors that there was a demo coming to Steam, and obviously as the
Not for
only
you,
only
Steam
person on
losers.
as the only non Switch 2 owner on the podcast, I was really
Boo.
relying on that Steam demo, and those buggers never really. Yeah, so I don't know who. There had to be some kind of cash considerations by Nintendo. I don't know. It seems weird that it would like we want to pay for an
To be
exclusive
fair,
demo.
I think because one, they're doing that feedback demo thing, like they did with Octopath Traveler, and some other games. I think they did it twice for Octopath Traveler, and Nintendo has a internal survey thing. So you just randomly playing a game, not even finish it, and they'll send you like an email offering you like points for a survey. So I guess it was just so that Nintendo could do the survey for them.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Nintendo's like
There's the
the exclusivity price is too much. But what's the exclusivity demo price for that? Oh, we can swing that.
yeah.
We'll make it up on the back end when David finally buys his Switch 2.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it with the Steam machine essentially like vaporware now, and you'll never see it.
Yeah.
And then your GPU got stolen by your son. It's only right that you get yourself a Switch 2, David.
I don't know about that, but
It's not like you have something better to spend $700 on, right?
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
can finally. I know you've been clamoring to play Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I mean,
Ugh.
Age of Imprisonment. Excuse me.
I haven't been clamoring to play any. I made the mistake once of buying Hyrule Warriors, and never again.
So anyway,
the first one's the only good. I don't want to say only good one, but the first one is the good one. The rest are
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Adventures of Elliott is a 2D top-down action game.
Yeah. In
Action
the
RPG.
2D or HD 2D, I screwed up the intro already with this. It's HD 2D, I guess, is the aesthetic.
According to the official Square Enix HD 2D Games Twitter account.
Yeah. It'll be interesting if we find out one day that all of these, like Octopath and Live and Adventures of Elliott, they're all going to be in like some like shared Square Enix universe one day where they'll end up in the same game. That would be hilarious to me.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't done that for a phone game yet. I guess.
Oh, don't put that evil on us.
Champions of the Continent is the closest because they do crossovers. Like they've done Dragon Quest events and some others, I think. So I guess I don't need to. They just use that one.
Yeah. But yeah, with this one, like you said, the visual design is the HD 2D. It's made. Oh, I'm blanking. I'm gonna have to look up the developer's name while we're going here because he's.
Isn't it Team Asano? Or?
Yes, Team Asano. That's what I was thinking of.
So this is like their first
Original IP.
action. No.
Oh, what? Yeah.
The first original IP would have been Bravely Default and Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strand.
No, yeah, that's very, very true. Yeah, action RPG. Yeah.
First action game, I believe.
I think so.
That sounds right to me.
Under that
Because
team,
you just named
anyway.
them all off, and they were all turn based.
Yes, I guess they finally got to do something different that they might have wanted to do. Like since they made enough money, maybe Square Enix was like, okay, you can pick something yourself this time. I don't.
Well, they're arguably the A team now. Like
Yeah.
apart from maybe Final Fantasy Remake team, but
Although I have a suspicion that this game was originally going to be a mobile game because there's a system with the Magicite and the animation for getting new Magicite in the system is very. It's just a gacha animation.
oh,
And it's like a gacha mechanic. So I'm like, maybe they decided to early on in development change that. I'm glad they did.
yes,
I think it
very
would
much
be
so.
much better as a retail game than imagine having to pay money for that system.
Well,
Oh,
now that you say
God.
that, I could totally see it. Like the way that that works with his belt. I even think that's like a cool cool way they set it up, where it's like he's basically wearing a belt. Pops the cover or whatever, and then can just like switch up the magicite and to get different stats bonuses and stuff. It's just kind of neat
Yeah,
that you
so
can
it's
kind of visually see
basically,
it. You know.
yeah, it's a separate sort of equipment system where you're like using this. You're basically collecting fragments and then tuning them in to randomly get a selection of different things. So it might be like attack up, it might be, and there's different ones for each because you've got a few weapons. So you've got your sword, arrows, bombs. Some other ones you're going to unlock. So you have to get magicites specifically for them. So for bombs, you might get one that means you don't take any damage from your own bombs, and then you can choose to equip that because you can have a certain amount. You have the capacity to equip onto yourself, and then that lets you use your toolkit the way you want to. So if you like to use bombs a lot, you want to put that one on. And if you aren't really using the other weapons, you're not going to bother equipping the magicite for the other weapons. You're going to focus all on your sword and try to stack a bunch to make your sword extra strong and wider and all sorts of things like that.
Yeah, it certainly looks like there's going to be some neat builds that you'll be able to make throughout the game.
So yeah, the combat's basically you've got your sword, you've got a shield which you can use to parry, so you get a bit of a stun. You've got the typical, you've got arrows and bombs. You can only equip either the arrows or the bombs, so you have to like go into an instant pause menu and swap them around. And
It's like your GBA Zeldas.
Look at that. I don't think, you don't really have a, because you've got a shield, you don't really have a dodge, but I don't know, I haven't tried seeing if I can jump over or anything, probably not. But, and then you've also got your friend, is she called Faye or is she called Faye?
Yeah.
I think
it's Faye, yeah.
Faye. And in the demo, you've got two different abilities you have to also switch between. That one is more for the exploring side, although I did actually find it was kind of helpful fighting some certain enemies. So one of them is basically a little bit of a boost behind you, so you're kind of like on, almost like you're on jet-powered roller skates. So, but you get stopped whenever you whack into something, which is a lot. Thankfully, it doesn't deal you any damage, but... And then the other one
like the
is
Pegasus
warp,
boots
so you can...
in Link to the Past.
And the other one is a warp to her, so you can get Faye. You can actually control Faye with the right stick and move her around somewhere, and then teleport to her, which you need to for certain areas. It took me a while to realize I could actually control her myself because I was like, why wouldn't she just move to that spot? And I'm like,
go where I want you to go.
So it's really funny to see the level design because they'll have heaps of fences and stuff that like the Fae can't get through, basically, to stop you from, and like making things different elevations to be like, no, you can't just cheese it by warping everywhere.
Did you try? Did either of you try having a second player control Fae?
No.
Because apparently you can do a coach co-op where one player is Elliott, one player is Fae.
Yeah, baby mode.
Yeah.
Well, girlfriend mode, I guess.
Chance will be. Yeah. He could be the fairy.
Yeah. I don't know if nobody I know is either bad enough at games that they don't like my husband is not going to want to sit there and watch me play it. He's going to want to play it, and then my little one's not going to be any help if I get her to control the fairy. She's just going to be sending me off to my doom to die and laugh at me.
It's like a new difficulty mode.
He's like, good luck. Yeah, the opposite.
But like,
the anti-Dracula
where the second mode. where the second player is actively sabotaging your gameplay.
I mean, it is cool that you can do that. It's just, it's for a very, I guess, set group of people because it doesn't work for anyone that I know. And obviously, with this kind of game, you're not going to have... I wasn't expecting multiplayer. There are other games where they do that system, and I'm kind of like, I wish they didn't because I'd rather have normal multiplayer. But in this one, I'm not... obviously they're not going to do that.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like a holdover from Secret of Mana because you could play... Each player could choose one of the characters to play as, which arguably made the game much more palatable in the sense that like the AI is so terrible in that one for your party members. But
yeah, so it's well, I haven't actually myself played a lot of the 2D Zeldas, really, but it is pretty obviously inspired by Zelda in many different ways. And one of the ways is you, like I said, we've got bombs and arrows, and there's bombable walls to get into different caves. You've got all your treasure chests. You've got puzzles. A more modern inspiration. We've got the shrines, like in Breath of the Wild. We've got little
Mm-hmm.
shrines with challenges, such as using phase mechanics or just a combat zone, and that's at the moment mostly giving you just an extra like life point.
Health piece, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I do have to say one thing I found, because when I think I tried to play it originally when it came out, the preview, I tried playing in hard mode and I was having a bit of a tough time. And then this time around, I played it on normal mode and it was so much easier, except for the boss fight. That was still a bit.
Yeah. That's the highlight of the demo for me. I mean, it's all fun, but I really thought that like the Frogman boss fight, he's like a frog, right? I think was sweet. Fish, yeah, maybe he's more of a fish.
Fish, I think. Let me see.
It's an aquatic animal.
Yeah, like
there's a water thing. Yeah, he's a big fish.
Are you sure? Aren't there lily pads? I thought it was a frog.
Yeah, but
maybe not.
He's called Lord of the Maw, and he's like.
Yeah, there are frogs too that come down.
Yeah, he
during
does
the boss fight.
ads.
Yeah,
frog ads.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that creature's mom might not be part frog. I don't know.
I don't.
He's got a frog in him.
He's got little like flippers that sort of lean on the ground. Yeah. Okay.
He actually, it's funny. Frog. He looks like almost like a. Well, I guess you said. Have you played Link to the Past? Oh my God, Paige, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm pretty sure that came out before I was born.
That's okay. It's still available.
I think.
The Zoras. That's what it sort of reminds me of. If you look up like Zora from Link to the Past.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what.
Like the old style Zora.
It has some Zora energy. Yeah,
with like those little flippers. But I thought that boss fight was super cool with like having to get in the lily pads and stuff and the classic, right? Like throw bombs into mouth. But that got me really excited to see what else they've got cooked up in terms of bosses and stuff.
Yeah, so that boss fight, like I said, you've got he's got the big mouth, so you want to throw the bomb into him, and then you get to wail on him, and then it gets more difficult in each little phase. Like you have to jump onto the lily pads in the right order to avoid the tidal wave, and then he's dropping ads on you, and then he's dropping tornadoes on you, so that like your bombs are getting blown away instead of into his mouth. I don't know if it does it in hard mode because I went to the boss in normal mode, but I died in the boss fight, and it let me pay money to just go back where I was, like not even restart it, just instantly refresh.
$2.99 Australian, you could restart right here, right now.
Not real money, but let's see. That's another evidence that maybe it was a mobile game.
Yeah, they thought about it at one point.
There is actually one other boss I found. I just played a bit before we started this recording, and I just went to explore, try and fill out as much of the map as I could, and I found like an extra mini dungeon, which I think almost took me longer than the dungeon to get to the main story boss, because I feel like I got through that dungeon without thoroughly exploring it, and it just let me go straight to, I found the key and I got to it. But this one, it was in a sand cavern with some very annoying enemies that were constantly trying to push you off. And it took a bit of navigating to get around, but that one had a unique boss that wasn't quite as intense. It was although by that point I'd also like gotten the best sword that was available in the demo and gotten all my health and things like that. Things that I didn't
you were
have.
OP. Yeah, you were ready to rock and roll.
So yeah, I could. But he definitely obviously had less of a health pool because I was really wailing on him and he was gone quite quickly. But that was a fun little. I forget what it was called, but it was like a rat-themed contraption on wheels, and it was just sort of, it had a shield at first, and then it was just dropping bombs everywhere. And I thought maybe I'm supposed to throw its bombs at it, but that didn't really work, but it was just mostly avoiding it and then wailing on them. So so it's good to see that there's plenty of just little extra content, because this time around, originally I did just go sort of mostly straight for the where the boss fight was, because I didn't do it the first time I played it. but you've got all those little extra shrines, you've got mini caves, you've got totally extra dungeons with an extra boss, and then that gave me a new weapon, which was like, I think they just call it chain scythe, like the Japanese is like kusarigama or something, because I just know the
That
name
thing
of
is
that because
so
I
cool.
like scythes. I personally don't know if I'm actually going to play with it though, because you spin it in a circle. You don't
It's
hit
not. Yeah, it's
enemies
not
that
like
are
a hack and
immediately in front of you.
slash.
Yeah, like if someone's right in front of you, then when you do it, it doesn't hit them. So
But it's
I
good
feel like there
for it
might
because
be.
it can actually bring people to you. So if like you like send it out there, you could like get enemies that are a little further away and bring them into your business.
and then drop a bomb.
Yep, and then then they're so close they don't get hit by it anymore, and then you die. Um, but no,
Well,
I
no,
thought
because
that
you've equipped the magicite where you don't take damage from your own bombs.
no, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, if you're prepared, you won't die. But yeah, I thought the chain scythe or scythe or whatever you want to call it was fun. Um, like I said, that gives me I'm curious. Obviously, I enjoyed this a lot as well. I played the demo back when it came out. But it's got me like, yeah, I wonder what other cool weapon types and items you'll be able to find throughout. Um, because yeah, I thought that chain was super cool.
Well, based on the trailers, it sort of seems like we're gonna be in the Philadelphia throughout.
What a
What a weird
stupid
name.
name.
You should be glad they didn't name the game that. Let's be real here.
That's true.
Um,
When you look
Fair.
at a
I think
word
they like
and it
naming
might be
things
an indictment
badly.
on me more than the game name, but like when you look at it, you can't figure it out for like 10 seconds. It's like maybe you should change the
Philly,
name.
Yeah, all I could see was Philadelphia, and it
yeah.
took me a minute to have to retrain my brain.
But yeah, the demo ends at going through a door of time. But a lot of the more recent trailers that have come out showing off a bit more, and it seems like you're going to be going on the same continent, but through different points in history. So at one point, everyone looks a bit more like cavemanish. One point, like where we are, it's sort of medieval-ish, but there's robotic enemies, things like magic and things like that.
That's
So
that'll be an interesting way because that gives them the opportunity to like expand the world basically without like you'll have like I imagine a lot of the layout will be the same, but then there could be like different villages or buildings or dungeons depending
yeah,
on the
different
era that you're in or whatever. So
settlements.
yeah, it gives them just the extra room to imp- increase the size of the game without like the physical size, I guess. But so that'll be an
Little bit,
interesting
yeah.
way.
Cost cutting measures, I suppose, making all these new assets for their game.
Yeah. Well, if it's successful, then it could be a long running franchise, really. But it's interesting with like the unique weapons because again, that's like another Zelda thing where it could be every time you go into a new dungeon, you'll have some new neat weapon that is kind of strategically designed around the way that it plays or whatever. So I would imagine it just seems like a lot of this game is taking a lot of inspiration from traditional 2D Zelda like Link to the Past and Minish Cap sort of thing. So it certainly seems like that's the type of experience that we can expect with respect to the dungeons and gameplay and that sort of.
I was gonna ask you guys, have any of you guys played like 2D East games? And do you think there's any comparison between those and this as well?
I played like a second of like Origins, not much, but I did, or I do remember seeing like quite a bit of comments, people being like, "This definitely feels like a mix of like old time Ease and Zelda."
Yeah, I played. I've played through Origins, and I've like dabbled in a couple of the Ease games. So yeah, I can see some similarities to it. I always felt like these games were a little more simple than like the Zelda games that are more. I find that the Zelda games kind of rely more on the puzzles and the unique mechanics, as whereas Eve's is more of a hack and slash sort of, or at least that's kind of my take on.
A bit more levels based,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Which I don't think this game doesn't have. It's just your equipment based.
yeah.
Yeah. I
No,
skimmed through. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I think it's gonna be just based on what we've seen so far. It feels like it's more inspired by 2D Zelda than. I'm sure there's some elements that they take from other things, but it's definitely well. And I mean, they could also lean on the Mana franchise for it's a lot of like because there's a character from I can't remember. Did they say that you had to have
Yeah,
that
that's
Mana
the one.
game in order to get
Yes.
her? Yeah.
So there's a lot of save data bonuses for the Adventures of Elliott, the Millennium Tales, to the extent that they have an entire page dedicated to it on their website. It's not uncommon, especially with the HD 2D games, to
Yeah.
have a little bit of that. Like if you have Dragon Quest 3 save data, you get a little bonus. Dragon Quest 1 and 2, just like a little costume. Octopath Traveler 0, there was bonuses for a few of different ones. This one, it seems to be mostly based on the Magicite. So, for example, if you have Octopath Traveler 0, you get a free Magicite that's named after something like, Guidance of the Sacred Flame, so it's a unique one, and it increases sword damage dealt to enemies with 30% or lower health by 10%. Or there's one that gives you a higher crit rate for mostly swords by the looks of it, all of them. But yeah, they've got one for Octopath Traveler 0, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster, so anyone playing on PlayStation won't be able to get that one. Various Day Lives, anyone who doesn't want to waste their money isn't going to get that one. And Triangle Strategy. But yeah, on April 1st, they posted something that made everyone think that they were pulling our legs, because it is a slightly more involved save data bonus where Reese from Trials of Mana shows up in the game, and if you talk to her, she will give you some money. I do also remember, go back here, it says, yeah, okay, it's not giving me much. One thing I read might have been a translation from the Japanese one, so it might not be accurate, but it based on your save data from the Trials of Mana remake, not the collection of mana they did, will actually increase the amount of money she gives you. So we don't know the exact details of that. So I don't know if it's like if you beat the game, you get more money. If it's actually just based on like 10% of the money you have from that game at the time. I don't know, but I do know why her presence in the game is actually like her showing up, because I started playing the Trials of Mana remake again, and I picked her, and her little brother is named Elliott. And like the first thing that happens in that game on her story is that her brother gets kidnapped and she's looking for Elliott. So obviously this is going to be like, oh, I came here because I heard there was an Elliott, but you're not the one I'm looking for or whatever.
Or
so
he
I think
is
that's
the one.
Yeah. I don't know. The hair color's different. But I don't. But obviously that's why she got the little pixel art treatment, and actually not just a bit cooler of a bonus, just because they're like, oh, the name's the same, so we'll do that. So that one's pretty nice. So that's actually why I'm playing the Trials of Mana remake, because I haven't got much to play while I'm waiting for Elliott, so I might as well finish this game I never finished.
Yeah, it has been it's been a slow year, so it's definitely making this. Usually, what happens with these types of games is they've because we've known about Elliott for a long time, and so it kind of ends up sneaking up on you as you're working through the backlog or whatever of new games that are releasing. But there's been so few things releasing that my focus has been on Elliott, and it just feels like it's taken so long.
Well, like I was saying, aside from like a couple of indie games and maybe some more, in terms of stuff that I'm actually playing, I picked up Tomodachi Life, but that's not a game to progress in. So I'm playing Trials of Mana because I'm like, well, I've got an incentive to do that now because it's
Hmm.
something for the next game I'm going to play. And I think maybe I'll pick up some things in May, but I'm not like over the moon for Yoshi. And
Yeah.
like a couple of those are ones to try and get my little kid to play, and I'll supervise. I mean, maybe Lego Batman, but I don't imagine that's going to be a very long game. Like that comes out a month before Elliott, and I don't think it's going to take me a month to beat it. Probably.
Well, it's funny. This is like with the big Steam sale now, for folks that haven't played some of those games with the save state bonus. It gives them the opportunity to pick these up, I guess now.
Yeah, I got really annoyed when they announced the Trials of Mana bonus, and then like the game wasn't on sale, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And then a couple weeks later, it was. So then
Yeah.
I picked it up. I had to pick it up on PlayStation, the PlayStation 4 copy, because I'm gonna buy Adventures of Elliott on PS5. So obviously I need to, which means I'm gonna miss out on a lot of the other save data bonuses. But
Any
I get the
reason you're
cool one.
going PS5?
Mostly because to get around the game keycard thing to get like an actual
Gotcha.
physical. Mostly that. I've been playing the demo on the Switch too. The only time it seemed to run bad was after I'd used the fast travel in handheld. I felt like it was like something happened to the frame rate there. I don't think, yeah, it will now. Now that I've played the demo a bit more, I'm like, I do like just it's not too, at least playing on normal difficulty, it's not too hectic to like just sit down on the couch and like play a bit. So
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go. I doubt I'll go PS5. I feel like I'd probably be between Switch and Steam Deck, if anything.
then you've got the benefit of either play mode, whereas I don't have it.
Yeah, that it's like I got the OLED for the Steam Deck, and I was like, oh, the
That'd
2D
be
HD
nice.
HD 2D whatever it's called would look so good on that.
Yeah, I remember when I got the Switch OLED, and then I compared a game that I'd bought on Steam previously to like the Steam Deck, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks bad on the Steam Deck."
Yeah, those OLEDs are so nice. My goodness.
See, that's why David doesn't have a Switch too.
No,
He's waiting
I
for
do
this
have
OLED.
yeah, I have well, that is partly because of it, because I have a Retro Pocket 5 that has an OLED screen, and it's just ridiculous. Like it's night and day.
Yeah, to
like,
go back. Yeah.
it's hard. Well, even like with the Steam Deck, like I'm finding myself playing games on my Retro Pocket 5. Like there isn't. It's an Android based device, so it's you're using like a I think it's like a version of Proton or something to be able to play some of the Steam games, and obviously they have to be like lower end Steam games, but I still prefer to play them on the Pocket 5 if it'll run them, just because it looks so much nicer on an OLED screen.
Yeah,
And
I was going to say,
it's much smaller too. Like in your hands, like the Steam Deck is a big boy. So
well, I was going to joke that instead of this Switch 2, you could just upgrade to the OLED on the Steam Deck, but they're all sold out, baby. Still,
they are. I don't see those coming back anytime soon. And even when they do, they'll sell out in seconds, I think.
Well, it's funny because I was like, yeah, the consoles used to be a depreciating asset. Now they're going to the moon.
Yeah, that's why I didn't let go of my Switch one.
Well, that's the only one that might be decreased. That one still might be going down in value. I don't know.
Yeah, at least luckily my TV is OLED, so that's nice.
Well, that's I always joke, like, I don't need a bigger TV. The next TV I get's going to be an OLED. Like, that's and it might be a couple of years from now, but I'm going to throw down eventually.
I got a 4K OLED about a few years into owning a PS5 and not playing any of the games in like the full resolution, and we got it like when Final Fantasy 16 came out, and we're like, whoa, it looks so good.
Crazy. Yeah, that's like the perfect game for OLED too. Like all the stuff with if like all the Efreet, every time you battle as Efreet, like all the
it all just looks,
graphics are just ridiculous. Like
when it comes to regular TVs, I don't know if many things actually cater for OLED. Like they all advertise on TVs that the OLED, but I don't know if it's I'm just used to it now, and I'd have to like put the same thing on a TV to notice that it looks worse. You know. Another reason I got the game on PS5 was also then there's a chance my husband will actually play it because he tends to not play games on the Switch at all. And well, we only have one Switch 2 in the household. I'm not sharing.
Back off.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes I'll buy a game on the PlayStation because then I'm like, if we both want it, then that means we can both, play it in a way that suits us.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is you want to make sure you have a good audio quality for whatever device you're using, because it sounds like the soundtrack is going to be quite extensive. They announced that on June 24th they're going to have like an OST. I'm assuming it's for sale, probably because they say there's a soundtrack that's set for June 24th release. There's going to be 105 songs on it, so
Whoa.
it's going to be. And I mean, even the music in the game so far in the demo has been like top notch. So
I didn't. I was gonna say I think I only had. I used to be didn't even play handheld with the sound on because obviously my battery was. So there's a lot of games I completely missed out. But I had it loud enough to hear it when I was playing just a bit before. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I actually don't
play
have
Chrono Trigger on my Steam Deck with no volume on. It's like, oh, what are you doing?
So I actually that was a habit I had to get out of when I started like reviewing games because I'm like, oops, I need to actually hear the soundtrack now, don't I?
It's strange. Page's reviews never say one thing about the soundtracks.
All the voice acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing I don't have is a sound system. I'm gonna say the only problem it's been is like a problem everyone seems to have, regardless of maybe having maybe it's because people don't buy surround sound anymore. But like, you're watching specifically when you're watching TV and the volume's all over the place with dialogue, especially.
Oh, yeah. I hate it. No, we got honestly, we got like a $50 or maybe it was like $80 or something sound bar, like nothing crazy by any stretch, but it blows the stock TV audio out of the water like crazy.
I find where people are like invest in like mobile audio options more than they do like surround sound systems now. Like, you'll see somebody walking around with like $300 or $400 headphones, but then like they'll just use the stock TV or whatever because it just seems like everything's kind of
I guess most people probably are listening to like music and stuff on the go more often than they are necessarily maybe sitting at home. But I remember like growing up, my dad had like, the surround sound with the speakers mounted up on the in the ceiling corners, where it was like, oh man, this is sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never recreated that, unfortunately.
I mean, I'd be too afraid to with my toddler at the moment anyway, There's already a precarious lamp that's constantly in danger of smashing over.
So. What's that up there in the corner? I better throw things at it, try and knock it down.
Just like, yeah.
I had that set up with like I have a Bose sound system that's that way with like, there's like
Mr. Fancy Pants.
I know, but the thing is like I just don't watch movies anymore, so I don't even really like. So now it's like, well, what's the point? Like,
I feel like it'd be better for gaming. I mean, for obviously movies be great too. I feel like I remember playing Gears of War, the first one. Like, I remember getting that. Like, it'd be like my parents would go to bed, be like, "Ooh, I could finally use the good setup," and like bring my Xbox up there and then like play with the surround sound. Like, this is freaking incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like when I opened... Oh yeah, one thing to mention. I skimmed through the trailer, and so far we know about 3 ages, is what they're calling the different time periods. Well, I reckon there's got to be at least one more for, like, obviously at some point we're going to go to the future. But so far it's just like the current one that he's from and 2 past ones. But I feel like when I reopened the demo again in docked mode, I thought, kind of looks a bit ugly. And then when I played in handheld, it actually looked a bit better. So I don't know if it was just the specific textures and areas I was looking at where I'm like, is it,
there could be some bugs that are still being worked out.
especially like the demo, they don't really tend to go back and fix
No.
certain issues, unless it's like, because like I said, this is one of their well, it might be the only demo they do release. I don't know, but it was like they specifically said it was for oh no, there we go. They did announce another one. It's on the official Twitter account. Okay, so like four at least, I think. There is. I've lost myself.
Well, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if there are time-based puzzles where it's like,
There is.
yeah, like
In the
there's got to
dungeon.
be, yeah. Well, I just mean like in the sense of like you need to access. It's like, oh, you need to access this part of the map, but right now it's inaccessible. But if you go back in time,
Okay, like that.
you do
Open the
something, then all of a sudden there'll be like a bridge there now when you go back to the other time and that sort of thing. You know?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine. I get the feeling that it's going to be fairly linear, which isn't a bad thing. But I do like that they've given you all the optional areas to explore. So you'll get like that mix of not having to immediately go do the next story thing.
Yeah, make it feel less linear, even though it's story wise not that crazy.
Yeah, it'll probably be like the story is linear, like you have to do it in a certain order or whatever, but then if you just want to kind of screw around and explore whatever, there'll be things, probably I would imagine, like little mini dungeons or whatever, just to hidden items and stuff, just to kind of keep your attention if you just feel like walking
There
around the world.
was, like, even in the dim, like I said, there was an extra mini dungeon with a boss and you got a whole new weapon. So it definitely rewards you for taking the time to do other things.
Yeah, and
like,
even the ones that like increase the health, right? Sort of like the heart pieces sort of scattered all about. Like seems like that would be something that, probably be pretty persistent throughout too.
I think they learned a lesson for that with Octopath Traveler, because in the first Octopath Traveler, it was pretty linear in the sense of like you're pretty much kind of going in one direction in a circle, collecting all the characters and then kind of doing all the quests or whatever. But then in Octopath Traveler 2, it seemed very much more like, here, go explore, don't worry about the order of things. Like, you can start here or you can jump over there, or you can go, like, they were much more open with the exploration of, like, you don't, there was no, I didn't find there was any specific path of like, well, if you choose this character, then these are the characters you have to get in the set order now to make any sense or whatever, but it just seemed like it was rewarding exploration much more in the second game. So it seems like something that they would learn.
The second one's pretty fun to watch. Like I watched a solo character speedrun of. So it was like not only just doing that one character's story, but also only playing as that character.
That'd be an interesting way to play a Traveler too.
Yeah. So I guess it does have. I mean, people do it, I think, a little bit with the other game, but I think it was a bit cooler to just see how they were abusing the mechanics to very quickly get through, and occasionally just trying to hope that they don't get an encounter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, now that I've thoroughly explored the demo, I'm a bit more like, I want to keep playing it, because didn't necessarily feel like I had to finish it the first time I touched it, and then again I finished it, but I didn't thoroughly explore because I was like, well, it doesn't save carry over, so I bother. But doing it all made me actually quite excited, and now I'm like, I have to wait 2 months. It's a bit less than.
Well, the good news is, Paige, as you wait, there's a beautiful game to play called Link to the Past. It's not super duper long, and it's amazing, and you should absolutely play it.
I don't think it'll play as smoothly.
And it's on NSO, so there's no excuses.
Is Minish Cap on NSO?
Yes.
I don't think so. Oh, it is?
Yeah, expansion
pack. Is
it? Yeah.
Because Minish Cap is a pretty good one too.
Yep, no, Minish Cap's good as well, but Link to the Past is the top dog, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
Minish
I would
Cap
say
is
yeah.
fun too.
Minish Cap is more like cutesy wootsy, I think, because there's so many like different ways of like you'll go. There's spots where you have to like shrink to the little guy and do things as like a little tiny
Yeah, and like
like
you're
ant.
like running around in a dungeon, but it's like blades of grass are like 80 million times taller than you.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah, Minish Cap is cool. That's a Capcom sort of take on Zelda. But I
yeah.
mean, like, I think if you've never played Link to the Past, like, you got to get on that.
I've tried to.
You played that, right, David? Please tell me you played that.
Yeah. No, no, yeah, I've played Link to the Past. I think I actually
No?
prefer
Oh, goodness.
what's no, what's the there was the Link to the Past, Link
Link
Between
Between
Worlds.
Worlds. Yeah.
Link Between Worlds. And only because
Oh, Link Between
Link
Worlds is
Between
really good
Worlds.
also.
Yeah, because there's just more content in it, like with the going into like paintings and stuff. But then it's also I felt that Link
Yeah,
Between
yeah.
Worlds was more open. Like it was
Well, that's because they went
again.
with a very different structure, and it was like go where you
Yeah,
want, basically.
Yeah, there is actually in Link to the Past, like there's definitely like an order to do things, but you can actually sequence break it a little bit without like,
yeah,
doing
I
any
love
crazy things.
I love just sort of when you inadvertently sequence break and things. Like I know a lot of people with Pokemon Blue and that you can kind of like skip the gyms. Out of like so you go back and then you do the other ones and you're like, oh, it's just really easy for some reason. Because you're meant to do it like two gyms ago.
This gym's got level 13 Pokemon and mine are all 45.
And I just had a tab open where it was about so in the Trials of Mana remake, there's like this random statue that you can't activate, and someone was like, "Oh, that's if you actually had 5,000 gold to pay the guy who was trying to charge you for something, and you didn't like actually like do the story bit and rescue a character you needed. So then, if you do that, you'll get told to do it, and they've put in a statue to instantly transport you to there. So."
That's funny.
So they're like, yeah, they know that that's something you could potentially do. So they put in a little fail safe, which is funny.
Well, if there's the ability to break it, someone will find it. So
Even if it's not on
yeah.
purpose.
Especially with like speed
Yeah.
running and things these days, like they look for any little hole to get into and then freaking break the game open.
I do love seeing like some of the vids explaining it where they're like they were talking about the postman in one of the 3DS Elders, and then like talking about like going around his hitbox of like it's just they show how big like the area, like so you have to like do a weird sequence to just avoid him because the time spent trying to go around the activation trigger is less than the time you have to talk to him for. So.
Yeah, like, there's a 3-frame window here if you do it while the bombs are equipped, and like you've got a potion in your bottle, and then this, that, and that, and then this works, and you're like, how do they even come up with this? Like, okay then, but
yeah, I don't have the focus or the patience for all this frame stuff. Even with like fighting games too, like when they're talking about, well, you can do this combo within this many frames and that, and then you have to hit this button to this frame section. And I'm like, I don't know, man, this is too much effort on my part.
Well, that's what, yeah, like like the speed running. It's just crazy because it's like crazy to think, all right, you need to do all these frame perfect things in this order to do this crazy thing. But then when you stop to think about it, it's like, yeah, that's really hard to do. But like, how did they even figure that out? Like that's what's interesting to me is like they figured out like, yeah, if you do these crazy weird things that are really hard to do, it yields a great result, but it's like it just
sometimes they're just
sometimes
they're just like accidents and then they have to try and figure out what they did to do it
again. Like backwards, like engineer the crazy. Yeah, those speedrunners are out of this world.
Imagine missing that 3-frame window after you've played 15 hours and you got to start from scratch all over again. Like, man, my console, whatever console I was on would be like tossed out the window if that were me.
Yeah, I've seen some of those world record like history videos where they're like, yep, it's pretty much at the point where you've got like a 1 in 10 chance
Yeah,
to get this trick that's 50 minutes into a 55-minute speed run, So it's like, oh, like you got to
yeah,
do that entire run perfectly for like a roll of the dice at the end.
yeah,
One thing I think back to Elliot that I do like visually, aside from like some little assets, like I liked the flowery entrance to the dungeon. I did actually think that the oily water was going to be poisoned though, so I didn't avoided like touching it. And then I was like, oh, I could have been walking in this the whole time. um, but one thing, yeah, I think the bosses themselves are more of a visual highlight. Um, like I said, there was that funny little machine one I fought, and yeah, some that the more one looked, like we showed sent you guys the pictures, and I'm like, man, that's actually some really nice detail and use of colors, like its little glowy top, little anglerfish style. I don't know what do you call
yeah, yeah. It's
the
anglerfish because
headpiece of
he,
an
yeah,
anglerfish. Like, what do you call that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to call
It's like a
Lamp.
lure.
the dangly
Yeah,
thing? The
yeah,
esker. Okay, officially the no, that's the tip of a fin, right? I don't know. Yeah, lure. Yeah. Um, yeah, they made that look nice and glowy, and going through, trailer, like there's another boss or two, and they all look, they're obviously sort of like 3D with the like pixels on top sort of thing. So you get like the segmented pieces and that, but like they all look really nice.
well, I just think like Team Asano right now is probably the top development team in video gaming for me. Like they're just nailing everything between like Octopath Traveler 2 and Triangle Strategy. Like there's so many neat things in Triangle Strategy that like you could miss half of them throughout the game. Like just little all the little quirks that are in that with like environmental,
Mm.
like the one level where you could just like burn down the forest or whatever, or burn down the village.
Yeah, that was like an
Uh,
optional thing, but then yeah,
yeah,
I'm having fun in the demo of like they would freeze, so then I'd get my own guys to melt it, so then there'd be in water, and then somebody else would have electric, and then that would hit a whole bunch of them suddenly.
yeah,
So they're like falling into my mind games, and I'm making
yeah.
things worse for them.
Well, it's just like they just I just it feels like they nail every aspect of games. Like the music's always terrific. The story, like the story has been great in all the Asano games that I played, which are most of them at this point, I think. The graphics always look great. Like I have very little complaints about games that are made by Asano, and they just feel like every new game is just better than the last one too. So adding to the excitement
Mm.
for Elliott.
They've learned what fun is. I
Dude,
think.
Triangle's on sale too. I'm tempted.
Yeah, you
Oh,
need
it's so
it.
good, man!
If you
Especially if
don't,
you're a Tactics fan, like that. That's basically Final
yeah,
Fantasy
maybe
Tactics, but
I don't know
just
what.
not
Which
Final
one? Which
Fantasy.
one costs less, Tactics Ogre or Triangle Strategy, for your next Tactics game?
I think Ogre is 15, and I think Triangle Strategy is like 23 or 21.
True, but
So pretty close.
if you have saved data for Triangle Strategy, you get the Sword Magicite counter stance, which increases sword damage dealt by 10%, while shield stamina is 90% or greater.
Yeah,
I did play the
Elliot.
demo back on the Switch back in the day, and I did like it. It's just definitely like, yeah, you gotta be like in the moment. Although I would totally get it on Steam Deck,
And
so I
they
wouldn't
did.
have any.
That was one of the games where they
yeah,
did a way after it came out update. I'm trying to remember. Because I guess maybe it was to coincide with them bringing it to PS5 after a while. But there's a couple games, yeah, Sun done where they've like done a really late patch. So like, I think it was for Octopath Traveler 2, they did a much later patch and they added a fight where you fight the guys from the first game. And then Triangle Strategy added a little, here it is, that's the one I'm looking for, extra story. So it's just a bunch of like cutscenes, I guess. But like it's like game's been out for ages, and then they do that little bit more, and then you're like, oh, see, it was good that I didn't play it straight away.
Well, Triangle Strategy is one of those games too that you could play several times, and it feels different every time because well, first of all, it could
Many
depend on like
choices.
there's different characters that you can choose to play with, like in your party or whatever when you go into battle. There's several different routes. I like even like the perfect ending, quote unquote, like the golden route was pretty was pretty difficult to get. Like, there's no way someone's getting that on their first run. Like, just it's just not like for someone to stumble into the golden route, like I wouldn't believe it. Like it's pretty convoluted. Like it takes a lot of work, um, but yeah, like and then there's just different endings and stuff. So it's just yeah, like to me, strategy would be the game to go with first for because Tactics Ogre I think
Let's
is
say Data
more.
Menace.
Yeah, well that too. Tactics Ogre I find is more. It's like it's for Final Fantasy Tactics fans who like math because it's like way more, way more into like the stats of like the actual fighting and
Sort of
stuff. Like
min-maxing kind of thing.
yeah, for sure. Like it's just like tactics on cocaine. Like it's just amped up way more into the battles.
Also, you won't have to mod it to try and fix the pixel smoothing if you get triangle strategy. Ugh.
But any final thoughts on Adventures of Elliott other than it sounds like all three of us are hyped and going to be picking this up, I guess.
I
I'd say,
slightly hate his character design less. I still don't
That's
like
good.
I still don't like the white hair thing on the young character, to be honest.
Maybe
Like,
he's not that young.
Maybe yeah. Maybe he's
He
1,000
does
years old.
travel, right?
Maybe he's seen some stuff.
He's the millennium,
Yeah.
the ultimate millennial.
It's actually
I don't know, I
David.
feel like he should be blonde or something.
Yeah. It is. I am. My hair is going white. I'm getting up there.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
the exciting thing is it sounds like we'll be able to have another full podcast with us three talking about it when it comes out. Because I'm definitely picking this bad boy up on launch day, so I'm definitely excited for it. I love a good Zelda like, and like you said, the visuals and everything with the demo has pushed me in the right direction. Like you were saying, they really haven't missed at least the games I've played from them. So I'm definitely pretty darn excited. And like I said, I think I'm probably going to get it on Steam Deck just because, like I said, I feel like that OLED screen is going to look too good to pass up.
Yeah. Well, and I have to get it on Steam because that's where all my save data is.
Yeah.
So if I want
exactly.
my Triangle Strategy and my Octopath Traveler and
It's only for Octopath Traveler 0.
Oh, that's okay. I've played enough of Traveler 0 now to get that bonus. So.
What do you mean? He already beat it. The David canonical ending.
Yeah, I got the ending I wanted.
The David cut.
Yeah. I defeated the people that burned down my village. I feel like I accomplished my goals.
You beat the first act of the original release of the game.
That's right.
He's pretty much just scratched the surface.
I got what I wanted out of it. If I go back, it'll all be gravy at that point. But I guess this is where we'll wrap up the episode for this week. I want to thank everyone for listening. And again, for anyone who hasn't checked out our magazine, you can head over to thirstymage.com. There's 3 issues of Mage Magazine out now. And we're working on the 4th. I'm sure there'll be something involved with Elliott on that, depending on release time or whatever. But I want to thanks everyone, and we'll see everyone at the next Thirsty Mage. Bye for now.
Bye.
Adios.